peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough of Everdell with the Newleaf expansion. You might think that you are on the One Stop Everdell channel with all the playthroughs we have for this worker placement and card drafting and combo making game. I love Everdell, so I've been playing through all of the big box expansions, and now I present Newleaf. Newleaf adds more. It adds another board. It adds a bunch more cards, access to cards that operate like the Meadow. It has opportunities to score, different abilities that you can have. And also, look at this big fat deck. If you thought the Everdell deck was big enough, well, add 60 cards. The scores are going to go through the roof for this playthrough, which I'm happy to bring to you, versus the Nightweave bot from the Mistwood expansion. But before I get to the playthrough, let's talk about the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a gaming empire with coverage, old and new, depth coverage, multiple videos of all your favorite games, including Everdell. If you like what we do, please subscribe to both channels and like the videos that you find enjoyable. We also have our podcast, which is focused on bringing you all the latest and greatest in terms of gaming coverage, design discussion, interviews, hundreds of episodes to enjoy on the One Stop Co-op Shop podcast. We have our Discord, which is a great community of people who enjoy talking about solo and cooperative games all around the world. Literally, our community is globe spanning, so you're going to have 24-hour chatter about your favorite games. We have our Patreon, which you can contribute on a monthly basis, that keeps the games coming to the table and the tech upgraded. In exchange, you get exclusive access to videos as well as channels in the Discord. But if you just want to join the community, it is totally free to join. The link is in the show notes of this very video. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. If this is the first time watching an Everdell video, then I recommend that you go over to the base game playthrough we have here on our YouTube channel. The playlist is Everdell. Mike did a playthrough of the base game if you want to know the basics. I also have a playthrough of the Nightweave bot expansion, which you can find on the channel as well. I'm just going to go over the Newleaf specific stuff here. This is a separate board for Newleaf. This station is an extension of the Meadow for all intents and purposes. The difference is when you take a card from here, like playing a card from the Meadow, you actually get another little goodie. So there's going to be lots of little goodies coming down on the train, and there's more here in this bag. There's also additional opportunities to score, event style. So you can place a worker here and get a visitor card, and these will score your points at the end of the game. This is definitely for folks who feel a little bit shut out of their victory path. There's always another path to victory. Very much a paradigm in Newleaf. Speaking of easier access to point scoring, the events I'm using are from the Newleaf expansion exclusively. 4 unique critters, 10 cards in each city. The base game needed very specific cards to be in your city. Here they're a lot more open and general, so easier to achieve that way. So I'm playing with this stamp and this token. So with this one, this works once per season. You can reserve a card under this stamp for 1 action, and then on a future action, you can play that card for 1 resource less. So once again, if you really want to get something done, you have the tools in Newleaf. This one allows for extra movement of your worker. So if you have a worker placed, you can flip this and move them to another place and activate it. And then you can do it a second time, and then you discard that from a game. So twice per game, you have access to 2 more spaces, more options. The most important aspect of Newleaf, though, are the new cards. 59 that you shuffle into the main deck. Huge. So you have new constructions and new critters. The new constructions can summon any single other card. So there's no longer that 1-for-1 lock when it comes to the critters and constructions, at least with the Newleaf cards. And that the critters can be summoned by any particular building. So if I had a farm, instead of summoning the husband or the wife or the gatherer and the harvester, as they are known now, you can now summon the baker. So that is limited. You have golden tokens here. You only can spend 3 of them throughout the game, but that's plenty. You will definitely feel the impact of those Newleaf cards. All right, I'm ready to begin. So got my opening hand of cards. As a second player, I get dealt a hand of 5. Gonna have my 2 worker bees, playing the bees faction. Normally when I like to do these playthroughs, I like to play with a player power. But for Newleaf, I think I want to keep flexible. The player power kind of isolates you into a strat. And I want to stay nimble, explore the whole board, and have the extra worker to place, because there's so many opportunities to just place workers against special events. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and do that for Newleaf. So here is the Nightweave bot in all of her glory. I want to be really clear about this because just to give a flag for people, the book definitely recommends to play, if you're playing with one of the expanded modules, do not play with the personalities, plots, and ploys. So I am going to go against that just for a little bit. I love the personalities. Every single playthrough of Everdell I have done with the bot has had a personality, and so I'm just going to go against the recommendation just for this little bit. I don't think it breaks the game too much, and play with at least a personality. So what do we got here? Nightweave the Neglectful. After Nightweave enters the meadow, discard all adjacent cards and replenish. If you play or draw a meadow card adjacent to Nightweave, discard all cards adjacent to Nightweave and replenish. I imagine over the course of our adventure, she's gotten really large and in charge. She is bulbous and fat. Aha! I have feasted on your failure. I have feasted on gold. I have feasted on woodland creatures, and I am large. Prepare for the ultimate battle. Your cards are not safe around me. She has her 2 workers. She has her beginning card in her hand, and she's the first player. Let's see what she does. So look at that. It's just camera right here. The card is going to get played, the 1 card, into her area. Good thing it's not a Newleaf card. She scores extra points for that. But speaking of extra, she gets a bonus action. Nightweave will never occupy the spot that allow you to take visitor cards. That exists as a bonus on her other cards. So what she does is she discards the lowest point visitor, and she acquires the highest point visitor. So she is going to acquire a bunch of these. As you see, how many score depends on the difficulty of the bot. I'm playing a middle difficulty, so she's going to score her highest 2 value visitor cards and discard the rest. So I happen to know a little bit about the point distribution. There's some 8s, 9s, and a 10 floating around there, so I can't help her getting those other cards, but when I see one of the higher point cards, that's my flag to try to nab that one. All right, first things first, a proto strat is kind of coming together for me. So let's go ahead and get that started. Going to go right there, draw 2 meta cards, play 1 for -1. Do this now before Nightweave enters the meadow. So we're going to draw the Crane and the Judge. Crane's probably going to get used pretty soon. The Judge is pretty sweet. If I am able to get a high resource generating city going, I'm going to be able to have that flexibility to trade resources into whatever I want. We'll see if I can make that happen. See what else comes into the meadow. The Shopkeeper. Hoo-hoo. All right. Wow. I love the Shopkeeper. And the Lookout. So here's an interesting note about the Nightweave bot in the Newleaf area. They are not going to go to any of the basic locations. I have these web tokens here to indicate that. So they're going to prioritize higher priority spots like the forest spaces. So as an example, this spot, which is their next card, would put a Nightweave minion on the Pebble. Cannot go to the Pebble. Normally, they would just cycle over depending on this tiebreaker right here. You see they go kind of clockwise, but they can't go to any of those basic locations, so they skip over to the next action, which is to put a worker right there. So I see that Nightweave is prioritizing these forest spaces. Let me go ahead and get the advanced resource gathering while the getting is good. And that's exactly what's happening. So her second and final worker of the season would get placed in an area. But a tight game. All 3 forest locations are occupied. She cannot go to a basic location, so she is going to go to the market. So that just appears over there. And according to the card, so then she would get this point total. And the point total here is 2 because I'm on medium difficulty. So that is 2 points for the bot. Hopefully I don't pay for that. So now I get to use my tools, new tools. I'm going to use my stamp token. Yes, I know, reserve token. Either way, going to acquire the farm and play that at a future turn. So let's see what I get instead. The Chip Sweep. I have a feeling you're not long for this world, Chip Sweep.
Yes, I am making my grand entrance. I could show up in the meadow. I could show up in a station. Wherever there are cards, I can be there waiting.
You may wonder how I can get over to the station with a D8. Well, game answers that with a big fat D12. One of my favorite die in all of gaming. We have an 8.
Dot air balloon. I'm about to rise. Delicious helium. Delicious
Now, she acquires all of the cards that are adjacent from the Newleaf expansion into her deck. She doesn't acquire them yet, but they go into her deck. She could acquire them at any point. So that denies me cards because Newleaf cards are really good. And following the personality, she is going to discard just generally any other card that is adjacent to her, diagonals included. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, 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 oh. Maybe I should have gone with Jabba as opposed to Gollum with this voice. I can't mix them. I'm not a professional over here. All right, so we got Resin Refinery, an Historian. Ooh, I like the Historian. And the Ruins. All right, so first things first, we are going to play the farm. At a 1 resource discount, I'm going to spend 2 wood. I have 2 left. And I play the farm into my area. This will come back to me at the end or at the beginning of the next season. And I get a berry for my trouble. Nightweave pulls a worker card. She cannot place anything, so that is going to mark her prepare for season. She is going to move over to spring. There it is, nice and spring. So she is going to grab some cards from her reserve. If you've seen the Nightweave bot before, these are familiar. These cards will operate in spring, and I will listen to the spring cards of all of her other cards. And that is her new Automa deck. She's going to get 2 cards from the main deck, as you can see right there. Shuffle them all together because she can play any of them at any time. She hobbles back over there, gorged off on air balloon. How does that taste, Nightweave?
Delicious. I love the taste of helium in the morning.
She gets her a 3rd worker, and she's going to discard 1 random card from the meadow. The only thing here I really care about is a shopkeeper, so no 5. That is a 7. A Resin Refinery is discarded. We refill a Wanderer, very nice to have, and of Inventor, a new card. When playing a critter or construction, you may discard the Inventor from your city to decrease the cost by 3. So like kind of inventing Mecha Wanderer or something. The critter version of the Crane, I like it. All right, so sequencing is going to be really important here. I'm going to discard the Crane. Gives me a discount of 3 on my next construction. That is going to be from this area, the general store. So that's only 2, but that's okay. I also get this token, so I'm able to get a resin. Not only did I construct this for free, I got a resin for my troubles. We reach into the handy dandy bag o train car stuff and get ourselves 2 wood. Where were you before? Another card enters the meadow, another farm. I don't think I'm going to care about that too much. Nightweave continues to her assault on forest locations. Again, basic locations blocked. Moves over to the next one. Bloop. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention general store. Gain 1. If you have the farm in the city, gain an additional 1. I'm up to 3 berries. And now I'm going to use a regular old combo chain to gain the shopkeeper. As soon as I saw general store and shopkeeper in the market at the same time, I prayed to the heavens that Nightweave didn't notice. Gain 1 after you play a critter. That is so sweet. Next card to arrive is the monk. We're familiar with the monk. The next worker would be into my area, which you know I don't like. For example, if I had played this hotel, it would hit this area and pay me 2. So eventually I might want to get that hotel down because I know Nightweave does this. But they can't do that, so they're going to go to the market and get 3 points. If they get me on point tokens alone, I'm going to be really mad. So I actually could keep going. I have a couple of other moves because I've acquired some resources, but I'm going to prepare for season instead. I kind of don't mind if the bot takes a space or 2. If I let them just flood the market, they might outpoint me. So that's okay. I can work around that. I get a worker back and another worker because I'm not playing with a player power. I missed those, man. Those were cool. I'm going to get this back, so I get another reserve and a discount. And I get to fire off these 2 cards, which are going to be 3 more berries. Boop. Look at that berry empire already.
I told you, your cards are not safe. I don't even need to be in the meadow to eat of the cards and the critters. Give me a nice juicy bat to chomp on. That is not a bat. It is even more delicious. I get to eat the Undertaker.
Oh no! So that's really bad. The extra benefit to Nightweave when they enter. So they are going to discard these 2 cards over there, and we're going to go ahead and fill those 2 up. But before then, they do score their point total again when they enter. So man, they are really putting a lot of point pressure on me. So Newleaf has the capacity to up your scores. You see how the bot has been balanced to accommodate 2 chip sweeps. We'll see about that. Yes, we will see about that, won't we? I'm going to go ahead and get that 1 chip sweep that is next to the stone. So I gather a stone. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and pay these 3 berries and acquire the chip sweep. So the chip sweep will activate immediately, activate 1 production in my city. Guess what? General store, get 2 berries back. Shopkeeper, get 1 berry after I play a critter. Ha ha! Combo chaining. I adore this game. And so the new card to come out that replaces is the main road. Man, I like this card. This is a Newleaf card. Opens an additional space in your city and does not take up a space in the city. If you want your city to grow, that is the one that you want.
I told you your cards were not safe.
So then, there you go, spring. So then can't place again. So they're just going to go ahead and grab a card out of the meadow. Straight up. That is going to be a 3.
Ah, that's what I was looking for. The bat. Chomp, chomp. Chomp, 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 chomp. Are we natural enemies in real life? I don't know anything about zoology, but it tastes delicious.
Let's go ahead and replace that with a library. I feel like I'm seeing more cards in this playthrough. That's good. And also as part of the action, it draws the top card of the deck. I don't get to see it, and it's going to get shuffled in. So I had this one planned since the beginning of the game. I think my first action. Going to go ahead and play this judge. Love the judge. May not be used as a card playing ability. When you play a critter construction, I may replace 1 with 1. Sweet. Right now, it's resource light in terms of the spaces, except for that 1 place where I can get 4 wood. Plan on going there, and I'm getting a lot of berries, so this judge will get me the rest of the resources that I need. So let's go ahead and pay the 3. I get 1 back, so I'm going to pay 2 total, and that judge is going to order in the court. Bring order to this game. Holy Toledo, Nightweave is assaulting the meadow, and they're actually going to discard a card off of this and get a coin. So where is my D12? Let's go ahead and give that a roll. That is a 5. The monk I can sacrifice. That is fine. But they are going to discard a card from the top of their deck. I don't get to see it, and they get to score another point. So then the monastery comes out. If I wasn't interested in the monk, I'm not interested in the monastery. All right, so before Nightweave gets too froggy, this is just too good to pass up. Let's go ahead and spend 1 stone and acquire this main road. So now my powers trigger, and then this will trigger. So then I'm actually not sure about that. I think this goes last. Go ahead and check the rulebook on that one. Doesn't really matter for now. So the judge says that when I play a critter or construction, I can change 1 for 1. So we're going to change a berry into a stone. You see how my plans are shaking out. And I'm going to acquire 2 more wood and get myself a pebble in replacement. The freight car. Let's see what this does. When played, place 2 of some resources on there. Gain 2 resources from the freight car when you play it. A mess of resources. And also, because the main road does not take up a spot in my city, I'm just going to go ahead and put it behind the farm over here, trying to clean up some of this stuff so the camera is not as crowded, but know that I now have 16 spaces in my city here. All right, so it is Nightweave's turn. They pulled a worker placement. So no basic spots. They are going to go to this forest location with the 4 twigs. Normally I wouldn't care, but now that I see how Newleaf is developing, and I hope that's apparent to you too, I have a ton of resources, haven't even placed my spring workers yet, and I have these in reserve. So I think the play style is that you need to get your resources from the cards and the station and other places, not the basic location. If you're going to the basic locations, you're doing it wrong, which is why the bot is not bothering there. So I think I figured it out. Nice. And now that I got that mole, I don't feel so bad taking the chip sweep again. So common critter, so I can take multiple copies. It cost me 3 berries, but the power is activate 1 of these in my city. That would be the general store, which gets me 2 berries. The shopkeeper gets me a berry, so free. And I would get these 2 wood. So that would be 2 free wood benefit for playing a card. And because of my judge, I'm going to change one of these wood to a stone and, ooh, a precious wild resource. And it would be the Everwall. Ho ho! I might even be able to buy this. All right. Everwall does not take up space in your city. 2 coins for every 5 spaces you have filled in your city, worth 6. Wow, big pointer. I'm hunting big fish in this game, so I'm going to go for that Everwall. And I probably need to go for that Everwall because the bot already has a whole bunch of point tokens there. And they're going to play another card into their city. So that is going to be the mine. That's okay. So I need to keep track of this. So they have 3 production buildings, 2 these Wanderer cards, and a blue. They are able to automatically acquire a relevant basic event for free if they meet the condition. So one of the events is 4 production. They are at 3. They can claim it for free if I let them get it first. So that's something I need to think about. Or how about I not think about it? I'll just do it. I'm not doing too much with my workers anyway. Farm, general store, 2 chip sweeps, 4 production buildings. You're not going to get that bot. They would place a worker. They don't have a worker available, so they are going to prepare for summer. Let's go ahead and get that summer chip going. They get their 2 workers, and all of their workers come skittering back from the darkness, or into the darkness, and so does Nightweave.
Ooh, I am rolling in gold like smog. Is that how the dragon feels? Blah, 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 blah.
So I missed recording this, but doesn't really affect things. In the cards that they play, they did get 1 extra basic action, and they were able to acquire another 7-point card, so they got 2. Not so much that I can't really help this. Right now, it's not bad, because the next time they do their basic action, they're going to get a card that they're not going to play. So I'm probably not going to acquire these for now, but if I see higher point scoring cards, then I'm going to go for them. Let's go ahead and pile in some of those summer cards. Now we're going to start to see her claiming some of those basic events. And so they acquire 2 metal cards into their hands. One of those cards could be the Everwall, so do not roll a 9. That is a 1 post office. You're welcome to the post office. Let's see what else they acquire into their hand. Once again, another chip sweep. I probably wasn't going for a 3rd, so you are welcome to those cards. Give those a good shuffle. That is her hand now. Let's replace the cards. We have a crane, like you, but I don't think I need you anymore. A mayor. Gain 1 gold and gain 1 gold for every 5 spaces you have filled in your city. So more of a end game or late game scenario. And hey, Chipsmith. Activate 2 production in your city. I get another chance at that? Sure, why not? Okay, so that was super scary. I'm going to go ahead and reserve the Everwall right now. I'll be able to play this at a 1 resource discount. I hope I'm going to be able to play that before I prepare for season. I have 2 workers left, though, so I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. Now, the rules are explicit only when you play the card out of the station, not when you just draw it. Do you get this token? So that token is still there. And we get the husband in the later printing. It is called either the harvester or gatherer. So just a flag for that one right there. And so the first bot action of summer is to acquire a card from the meadow into its city. It is going to acquire the crane. Have fun with that. Just told you I didn't want it.
You are lucky I'm too busy sitting on my pile of gold to care.
Next card up is the poet. Choose a color. Draw all the cards from the meadow of that color. Gain 1 for each card draw. I like this Newleaf. I think it's a little bit overwhelming to play. just every time, or maybe you want to play that very generous game a lot. But this is a good change of pace from the standard combos. I'm liking this expansion. All right, let us begin our second row. Going to use the power of my farm. It seems so mundane to go through the old combos, but you know what? You got to marry the old and the new. Speaking of new, this is now a gatherer, so we're going to play the gatherer. And when I play a critter, I get a berry. And when I play anything, critter or construction, I can replace that berry with a resin. You see where I'm going. For their summer action, they are going to occupy a forest space. I am now realizing, go ahead, occupy the forest spaces all you want. I've rearranged my tableau a little bit. I'm going to spend 3 berries, get 1 back because of the shopkeeper, and acquire the harvester, which is going to go on the same space as the gatherer. So then I'm able to gain 1 if paired with the harvester, and if I have at least 1 farm in the city, that is going to be 1 resin. When I acquire, I'm able to spend 1 of this wood that I have lying around and turn it into a stone.
I am not liking what is going on down there. I am too tired and in love with my gold to care. Instead, I do my own thing.
So they're going to play a card into their city. You know that already. Another chip sweep, their 4th production building, but I've already claimed that a particular basic event, so nuts to you. They do, though, acquire this card, which they're going to just discard immediately because they're not going to keep it at the end of the game, and officially discard that one. And now we are into a little bit of the dregs of this pile. They've already made their claim. I just have to watch out for the 8s and above when they show up. Oh my God, by the way, when I got the husband, I forgot about that thing. Oh, that's amazing. So I'm going to get another resin out of that. Let's go ahead and place this, which is another all or any token and another mayor. I'm going to build that Everwall and assorted things that I'm going to need all the resources that I can get. So my last visit to a forest location, we'll see. And so next card, they would occupy their own building and get 2 coins for it, but they don't have one, so they acquire a special event. So they're actually pretty close to qualifying for a lot of these. They have 3 unique critters. They have 10 cards. Well, they don't have 10 cards. They have 8 cards in the city. That's pretty close. And they actually straight up qualify for this one. So they're just going to go ahead and claim that right here. And when they prepare for season, they're just going to go ahead and put that in their achievement pile. Once again, big game hunting. Let's go ahead and spend 2 wood, 1 resin, and 1 stone. Yep, that's right. And get the library. I already have 4 of the colors. I don't think it'll be too hard to mix in a red at some point. So that will score me the full complement. Tea House, another Newleaf construction. You may give 1 card to an opponent to gain 1 and draw 1 as a production. Production is not as attractive now. And oh, by the way, the judge lets me trade a wood for a stone. Oh, man. It continues the assault on the basic events and point scoring things. They're in summer. It is going to be a basic event. So we look at the opportunity that they qualify the most for. They have 2 of these what we'll call it, the Wanderer or the Gray stuff. I should learn the names of these symbols at this point, but whatever. 3, they have 2 blue, so they're going to go ahead and get that one. I was working on that, but there was none in the meadow, so it would have taken me a little bit, so I might have just said goodbye to that. Let's do it. Let's get the Everwall. So we're going to give my resource. That's going to be 1 resin discount. So I have 3 resin right here. I have 3 stone and 4 wood. That is going to get me the Everwall, 2 extra points up top of the 6 for every 5 filled spaces you have in your city. You see, I'm not even in summer. I'm already close to the 16 maximum, so I'm going to get that one Man, I've never scored a card that big this early.
If you insist on rousing me from my slumber, I shall accommodate you. What card shall I eat today? Number 6, you say? Did you want to go to the lookout, you say? Not for you. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom.
I was thinking about that lookout, but it looks like I'm gonna have to go in another direction. All right, so gotta remember, what? Holy moly! The tea house, the mayor, and the poet. I was actually thinking about the poet are going to get shuffled into her deck, and she shoos away the wanderer and the monastery.
Blah, 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 blah. Get away from me, stinky cards.
Ooh, conductor. So that's a Newleaf one for sure. Unique critter, copy any one of these things in an opponent's city, apply to your city. Okay, I love the flexibility, and I can get it with any unique building, which I have a few of those. Farm, another one. Oh, wait a minute. It is unique. So the only thing that it can do is be acquired, and I definitely don't want that to happen. Barge Toad and a library, 2 uniques that I have already. Told you I thought the extra worker would be fun. Let's go ahead and get another basic event.
That Everwall looks positively scrumptious. I want it. I want it to add to my pile of gluttony. I missed it by 1 now, a farm. Not that I will truly reject it, but that is the way it goes.
And also, can't forget this part of the action. Nightweave sure won't. They're going to discard a card from their hand unseen and acquire another point token.
It grows. My pile of gold grows.
That's the gardener right there. You may activate 2 different production in your city. That may be really good to refill what I have been spending. So now I'm going to prepare for season. I'm entering my summer, which the bot is still in summer, so it's not as imbalanced as all that. I take back 2 basic events, the one for production and the one for the prosperity buildings, I think they're called. I now have 4 workers that are going to get more special events, hopefully. And I get to draw 2 meadow cards. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the gardener and the inventor. So what that does, because of Nightweave's personality, anytime I draw next Nightweave, goodbye.
No! Using my own gluttony against me, no!
I think that is the best ever. All right, so we know what the inventor does. The bank, another Newleaf card. Place 1 coin here. Increase their hand limit size by 1 card for each coin here. Interesting. All right. So if I have a hand of cards, which I haven't really used my hand of cards at all, playing stuff off the station, that would be cool. Fairgrounds, we know about all that. The wood carver, photographer. Wow, all sorts of new cards. Copy any prosperity in an opponent's city. So if they had gotten the Everwall, that might have gone against me. I could have let them get the Everwall and copied it with photographer. Oh well. And a bard familiar card there. They are going to place a worker on a forest location. I'm kind of resource poor, so I do need to watch out for the placements there. All right, so I'm still in summer. Let me go ahead and use my reservation token on the freight car. I'm resource poor, as you can see from paying for that Everwall, which, by the way, for its awesomeness, didn't even notice this, does not take up a space in your city. So I'm going to just leave these to the side tapped to indicate that I have them and they're operative. But man, I really hope I can fill the 15, after all that. Do not claim the pebble over there because that is just a reserve. There is the mine. Very little chance I'm going to acquire you. It would infest my open space, but it doesn't. Instead, it's going to hit the market with its last worker of the season. I have all mine for summer. It has spent. Nightweave has all theirs. But with that placement, they get another 3 coins.
Yes, my belly needs more gold to massage.
All right, first up, let's go over here. I qualify for this, so let's go ahead and grab it. Oh, look at that. And a cheap one is under it too, so that works out pretty good. At least 6 common cards in your city. I already have that, so don't have to worry about that at all. And so I like the points, and they give you a train car. So let's go ahead and take that train car and earn ourselves a resin. The new train car is bountiful. It pulled a worker card. It is empty of all things that could be placed. So it is going to prepare for autumn. So it had achieved the blue special basic event and this special event. So that all goes into its achievement layer. It is eligible to get another basic event for which it fulfills the full requirements, but I got lucky there, or a little bit skillful, because I noticed what it was going for and ninja'd that. So it doesn't fulfill any of the other basic events. Fulfills a special event. We'll get to that when we get to that. Here comes Nightweave on top of her pile of gold. She can't even fit on there. She gets a whole mess of workers as well, her full complement of 8. She gets her new summer cards, which will put her into the journey space. So I probably won't make it into that journey space because I won't be in winter yet by the time they get in there. But them's the breaks. I am going for different stuff. It adds 2 cards from the main deck, so give that a shuffle. And discards 2 cards from the meadow. Actually don't have a rooting interest here, so go ahead and do your worst. Bot, so you can have that bank. And you can take the bard away. Actually, you don't have it. We're going to just discard it face down, and we repopulate the meadow. The architect, not bad. May just grab you. By the way, the Everwall, besides all of that awesomeness, is able to acquire any critter that is the prosperity. I keep on wanting to call it purple, prosperity, whatever. The architect might just come in handy for that. Got the main road. That is a unique construction, so I don't have to worry about that one. And the clock tower, which is actually a pretty useful one. We'll see if I go for that. So I apologize, a little bit of a retcon. Instead of that resin, I grabbed the berry. Forgot about my sequencing of moves, but not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and acquire the Chipsmith right now. So that goes into my play. And for that, I get to acquire a berry because of the, where'd he go? The shopkeeper. And I can convert a resource into whatever I want. And that is going to be the resin. And I also get a berry from this train car. And let's see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. A coin. I could almost guarantee you know who is going to go after that. City Hall, another unique card. After you play a construction, you may give an opponent 1 card to gain money and draw 1 card. If I get myself into a good resource situation, this will be a card that I acquire in autumn for sure if it's still there. All right, so it begins immediately. It has so much action advantage in terms of the last point scoring spaces that I think I'm going to have to score off of cards and just do the best that I can. All right, so it's going to place on a basic event. And the closest basic event that it qualifies for, the closest, that is going to be that one. Let us pay those 2 berries, get 1 berry back, turn a berry into a stone. Get the Inventor. So the Inventor costs 2. May not be used with other card playing ability. I'm not going to do that. When playing a critter construction, I may discard the Inventor from my city to decrease the cost by 3. Critter or construction. Interesting. Next card. Oh, another Lookout. I was thinking of getting you, but I no longer have access to the Wanderer, so less attractive right now. The bot has 10 cards in their city right now. They are going for number 11. So what are they going to ninja from me? Look out! Ah! Never mind. And, ooh, a theater. That's not bad. Where'd that bard go? Oh, the bard is long gone. Hardly knew ye, Inventor. I am resource poor, so that is going to be, you are fired. So we are going to play that, the freight car. So the freight car, this is what I got for me. It is 5 resources, 1 resource discount from the reserve, and 3 resource discount from the, the Inventor. So that cost me a grand total of 1 resin. that works out for me just fine. So let's go ahead and put resources on there. 2 berries, 2 wood, 2 stone, and 2 resin. So then it is a production building. Whenever it produces, I would gain 2 resources from the freight car. Does not have to be 2 of the same resources, but that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead. Actually, you know what? Let's not. To take 2 of the same, I'm going to go ahead and take a stone and a resin. Feeling a little better about things now. Make that a wood and a resin. Good thing I made that wood, because that's exactly where the bot is going to block for this turn. All right, let's do some Newleaf stuff. So we are going to play our first golden token, and we are going to acquire any blue out on the field. So let's go ahead and do that. That blue is going to be this city hall for free. So we get a coin. That's our first coin right there. And when I play a construction, which I plan on playing at least 2, maybe more, I can give an opponent a card to their deck, I believe, not to their city, to their deck, and gain 1 coin and draw 1 card for myself. So I definitely plan on doing that. Let's get rid of that coin. Replace it with a berry, and the new card is going to be the Evertree. Yes! I hope I can get that before autumn comes out. This was bound to happen. It is going to occupy the 4 journey space, but if I can get that Evertree going, I don't think I'm going to care. And, oh, by the way, my judge allowed me to trade my last berry for a wood. Now, I really hope I can get this Evertree going. Sequencing is very important. So I'm going to use my next golden token. Man, all of a sudden, a rush on golden tokens. I only have 1 more after this. But I'm not going to get another one of these things. What I am going to do is I'm going to satisfy this. I can put a golden token on any unique card. City Hall is a unique card. To get the mayor for free. So that means I can gain 1 and then 1 for every 5 spaces I've filled in my city. I have filled up 2 of those, so then I get to acquire a 3 gold coin for my trouble. That is a production building. When I acquire a card like this, I'm going to get a berry. I turn that berry into a stone, and I get this token over here, which is a resin. The new token is a resin, and the new card is a barge toad. There's not a chance in the heck that I'm going to get you.
Evertree, you say? I wants it. I wants it now. I do not get it. No. But I'll take the purple. Oh, yes, the architect. I'm going to go design it. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you.
And it acquires the Newleaf card into its deck and discards these 2 cards. Blah, 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 blah. She's still doing that nonsense. And she gets, or plays out an inn, a doctor. These are all common cards. Another doctor. Oh, not keeping my berries. This one has, if you may pay up 3 berries to gain 1 each. Too bad I'm not keeping them. So no doctor for me. So I cooked this little move a little while ago. I have 1 turn to make sure the bot does not get that Evertree. Let's go to the Chipsmith. Activate 2 different production buildings in your city. It's going to be this one, gain 2 resources from that card, and Chip Sweep, activate 1 in your city. Gain 2 resources from this card. Yay! Nightweave acquires another card into their city. So that makes 13, another Wanderer. So they already got that one, so I don't have to worry about that. They also get a free station action. They're both the same, so you would consult the tiebreaker, but because they already have 2 that are more expensive, they're just going to discard these 2, which is poopy for me because I qualified for one of them already. All right, let's see. 7 points, at least 9 common cards in your city. I think I'll qualify for that. And at least 4 cards in your city. The opportunity cost to get that probably isn't worth it for me. Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba 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 bum ba bum ba bum ba bum 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 bum. Let's go ahead and make that a resin. I got a berry from that. I'm going to change that berry with the judge into a more useful resin. The new card is going to be another Chipsmith. A little bit of a come down, but I got my Evertree! Ho, and what is this? As a bonus, City Hall, after you play a construction, which the Evertree is, you may give an opponent one card to draw a card and gain 1 gold.
No, not the gold. Anything but the gold.
Here you go. Take my peddler. I have no use for that peddler. We're going to go ahead and give that one a shuffle. And the card I draw is a gardener, and I have 2 copies of that. This is a backup plan in case I couldn't get that Chipsmith to work, but I have all the resources I wanted, so I don't know if we're going to play any of that. Bam! How does the bot respond? I'll tell you exactly how the bot responds. I'm not even in autumn, so I couldn't have done anything about that anyway, but the bot is going to basically conquer this whole area. You know what? For the heck of it, let's use this outbound ticket. So I get to use this twice per game. We're going to go ahead and flip that to the inbound side. There you go. Flip when used. The next time I use it, I'll be discarding it. So we're going to move this worker over here for a couple of reasons. One, I think I can get another one of these. I can only have 1 worker here per season. So let's clear that out. And also, I now have 15 cards in my city. I don't have 15 slots filled, but I have 15 cards. That's what it takes to make this big city. Bam! Another event. Nightweave is about to acquire its 14th of 15 city cards. Let's see where it lands. It is going to land on number 9. Number 9 is the Barge Toad. Enjoy that. But because they got a card from the station, they don't get this token. They get this bonus, which is more gold. More gold. 2 gold for your pile right there. And let's see what new card comes out. The Clock Tower. The rush is on. Special events have achieved at least 3 events. I got 3 when I got the big city. So yes, another event for the good guys.
No, my minions, no. You are stupid. He doesn't care about the forest anymore. Claim the events.
My last worker of summer is going to claim this event. You fools! You let me claim all the events I want. When achieved, gain 1 for each basic event I have achieved, which is 3, and 2 for each special event, which is 4. So 7-pointer right there. Ho, ho, ho.
No, he's getting the gold. No, you fools. Redirect. Go get him. Too late! Or maybe not. I'll take it anyway. Give me!
All right, so for the last token of the turn, using it all now while Night Mist is going. I'm going to have the run of the board for Autumn, because they're going to run out by the time I get to my Autumn phase. So let's just go ahead and get this early. So we are going to reassign yet another worker. Go ahead and take them off of Big City and put them back on here. So the rhythm is that I can discard 1 visitor at a station. I'm going to discard this one. I have 7 commons in my city, but I'm going to reserve the last 3 spots in my city for some better cards. So let's go ahead and discard this. And I can have either 7 uniques in my city or at least 4 red. I qualify for both. Going to go ahead and grab that one. And also, I get one of these tokens, which is going to be a resin. Oh man, I wanted a coin. It has 2 workers left, but it doesn't care. It's going to go for its 15th and final city card. So let's see if it gets anything good. It is going to get 5. A doctor, 4 points. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was 4 points.
Yes, 4 points for the good guys, which is me. Aren't I pretty? Maybe I'm not so pretty in the stomach.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare for Autumn. While the Night Mist bot is going to be closing out its game, I get 9 berries. Chip Sweep just going to fire off that general store. And I got the berries off of the freight car. You did a great job, freight car. Thank you so much. Now you're barren and useless. I got 3 coins from the mayor, and I got a random resource, which is a stone from the husband, Feeling good. Gonna try to get some unique critters to fill out my last 3 spots here.
Terrible, my minions. Terrible. He's clearly not going for the forest. What are you doing?
I talked all sorts of smack about the doctor, but good thing there was another one left in the meadow. So I'm going to go ahead and acquire it for 4 berries, the full cost. Don't have no university or nothing. I'm going to pay up to 3 berries and gain 1 each. So that at the high cost of 7 berries, at least I get 3 coins out of the deal. I get a berry from the shopkeeper. That's going to turn into a wood.
Don't forget, I am a hungry mouth. All of those cards are gone.
Got the cemetery, another city hall, which is unique. That's okay. And the ruins. Man, I need those. I need like a king or a queen, some big unique critter.
I will not go without a fight. I will not go without taking all the gold.
Another reason why the Evertree is so good. Place a normal token would get any card or any critter, including Newleaf ones. That is going to be the photographer. That photographer will copy any of the prosperity in an opponent's city. They have the architect. The architect is going to score based on construction materials lying around. I have a few. That's going to get me some points. I now have a beautiful city of 15 cards, but I have 1 more spot open thanks to the main road. Come on, Queenie. Come on, Queenie. Almost the exact opposite. How boring. And so Nightweave ends her game. Not a lot of cards left in this Automa, only a couple. And they all have, or most of them have the worker anyway, so they definitely got them their money's worth. So they're just going to return all that. I believe that Nightweave just stays out in the middle until the end of the game. They have 15 cards. They have all their scoring, so they are done. So I'm going to try to tool around, see if I can get that 16th card. All right, only 1 worker per player here. So let's go ahead and discard that. I don't qualify for that anyway. Ooh, I see 8 points. Do I qualify for this? Achieve at least 2 basic special events and 2 basic events and 1 special event. How do you do? I was going to take that one, but 8 points, absolutely. Give me that. By some miracle, Nightweave would have claimed this had they had 2, or had they had 3 of these red things, but they only have 2. So don't claim it. I can't claim it either, so it's just going to lay there. However, I can claim this. 4 unique critters. I got plenty of unique critters. Where that came from, that one is mine as well. We're just finishing off at this point. We're going to go ahead and claim that spot. Discard 3 cards. That's the highest that I can get. Still on the hunt for that suitable 16th card. Let's go here. 1 worker per player here. Discard 3 station cards, replenish, and then draw 3 other cards. So then we're just going to discard all 3 of these. I could discard for the meadow, but nah, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Something good. Historian, maybe. 1 point though. Twig barge and gatherer. Boy, that is disappointing. And only 1 worker per player here. That didn't work out too well for me. At least I got 1 point. And let's see if I get something else. A berry. Meh. Down to my last 2 workers. Let's go right there. I'm going to forego drawing the cards because I just want the point. And I realized that the woodcarver's out here. Good endgame card. So this is my 16th card. And I'm able to pay 3 of my wood to gain 1 gold each. I have 3 wood that I'm going to get rid of and get another 3 coins. I'm out of 3 coin tokens. Are you kidding me? The Newleaf game comes with 6 pointers. So at that point, I'd be cashing those in, but I don't have the metal 6 pointers, at least in this set. And that is the end of my game of Everdell. The bot scored 80. I scored 136, baby. Got all these events, got 3 visitors, got the Evertree and the Everwall. I may never do that again. Got some basic events. I mean, just points, 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 and look at all these coins. I put the Nightweave to shame.
I want that gold.
You can't have it. The good guys win. I adore Everdell. I adore the Newleaf expansion. It's a little bit overwhelming, but having scored 136 points, am I going to go back to the regular game? Of course I'm going to go back to the regular game. It's such a good game, no matter what iteration, with Pearlbrook, Spirecrest, all that stuff. So many different experiences that you can get out of this game. I absolutely adore it. So I hope you enjoyed our entire featuring of Everdell, all the expansions here on the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Jason reminding you that we will see you at the next stop.